Welcome to Island Pulse, your monthly roundup of the stories shaping Jamaica. This is November 2025, a month of deep contrasts, recovery and hope, heartbreak and historic wins. From politics and national rebuilding to economy, public health and community life, to moments of pride and drama in sport and culture, we bring you the full picture. Let's begin. November saw Jamaica still wrestling with the aftermath of disastrous storms, even as the government tried to steer a path forward. Senior officials toured the hardest-hit parishes, coordinating relief distribution, shelter, and assessments of damage to homes, public infrastructure, and utilities. The government fast-tracked recovery funding, restoration of critical services, and laid out plans for reconstruction and resilience. International partners were engaged for support. At the same time, political debates focused on fairness in aid distribution, transparency, and rebuilding priorities. For many citizens, November became a test of trust, whether promises would translate into real relief and whether the road to recovery would be fair and swift. Economically, the toll of the recent disasters weighed heavily. Descriptions of widespread damage to farms, homes, markets, and small businesses painted a grim portrait for many communities. With livelihoods disrupted and infrastructure undermined, the economic recovery process promises to be long and challenging. Formal data remains unclear. As of November, we don't yet know how many businesses remain closed, how many jobs have been lost, or the full depth of losses in agriculture, trade, and services. What is certain? Ordinary Jamaicans across parishes are facing difficult choices. Schools across the island felt the impact of destruction and uncertainty. Many educational facilities suffered damage, leaving students without safe classrooms, clean water, or reliable utilities. As of November, some schools in less damaged areas attempted partial reopening, but national data on closures, displaced students, or learning losses is not yet available. Parents and teachers continue to call for resources, safe classroom repairs, psychosocial support for children, and clarity on when normal schooling can resume. For now, education remains one of the most vulnerable sectors in areas worst hit by flooding and structural collapse, especially in southern parishes. Security and public order became a concern. With displacement, loss of property, and limited shelter, some communities face increased risk of looting, opportunistic theft, and social instability. In response, security forces increased patrols and coordinated with local authorities to protect relief convoys, shelters, and supply distribution points. At the same time, many Jamaicans in affected areas expressed fear, uncertainty, and frustration, worried not just about rebuilding homes, but about ensuring basic safety, clean water, and fair access to aid. The challenge remains balancing emergency security measures with civil liberties and ensuring communities feel protected, not policed, during what is already a deeply traumatic recovery period. November's recovery is not just about rebuilding walls, it's about safeguarding lives. Perhaps the most urgent concern this month has been public health and social welfare, as the aftermath of Melissa brings new risks beyond structural damage. By November 21st, health authorities confirmed an outbreak of leptospirosis, a bacterial disease linked to floodwaters and contaminated environments. Between late October and mid-November, there were 9 confirmed cases, 28 suspected, and 6 deaths. The authorities warned that farmers, cleanup crews, and anyone exposed to floodwaters are especially vulnerable. With many homes destroyed and families displaced, shelters, emergency housing, and temporary camps became a priority. But overcrowding, limited sanitation, and damaged infrastructure made protecting public health a major challenge, especially in rural areas and small communities where resources are scarce. Community organizations, volunteers, and relief groups stepped up across parishes, offering food distributions, cleanup crews, basic medical assistance, and logistics support. Yet even with those efforts, November exposed just how fragile social safety nets can be in the face of large-scale disaster. For citizens, the message was sobering. Recovery will not just be about rebuilding walls. It will be about rebuilding lives, health, and community systems. Meanwhile, many communities remain displaced or living in temporary shelters, often with limited sanitation, water, and medical access. Relief efforts continue through aid groups, community volunteers, and emergency health services. But the scale of social need remains vast. For countless Jamaicans, restoring health, housing, and hope will take months, perhaps years, not just weeks. In vulnerable communities, especially in flood-affected or displaced areas, security concerns surfaced this month. With increased patrols and coordination among law enforcement, authorities work to protect relief operations, shelter sites, and vulnerable populations. The goal was to prevent opportunistic crime and protect the needy, ensuring safety without undermining civil trust. Balancing security with compassion remains critical, especially as many communities rebuild under fragile conditions. Mid-hardship, Jamaica also witnessed moments of triumph and of very public drama. Jamaican Bobsled team, historic gold at Whistler. The biggest sports story of the month, the Jamaican Bobsled team delivered a historic win at the North American Cup, NAC, in Whistler, Canada. On November 24th, the four-man team, piloted by Shane Pitter with brakeman Junior Harris, Andre Darkers and Taekwondo Tracy, shocked the bobsled world by clinching the gold medal, marking Jamaica's first ever international gold in a major bobsled event. Earlier in the event, the two-man sled of Pitter and Nimroy Turgot had also secured a bronze. Across Jamaica, still recovering and hanging on to hope, the victory was met with cheers, pride, and a renewed sense of possibility. The tropical island had just conquered ice. Many saw it as a sign that even in the hardest times, Jamaicans can rise, adapt, and win. National football, a rough qualifying round for the Reggae Boyz. It was a difficult stretch for the Reggae Boyz during November's 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign. The team struggled to secure the results needed for automatic qualification. Reports indicate that Jamaica failed to clinch a decisive win, ultimately falling short of a direct berth. For a country grappling with so much uncertainty, damage, rebuilding, recovery, the results were a blow. Fans mourned lost hopes of a return to the World Cup, but many also expressed empathy. This was a time when survival, recovery, and national solidarity mattered more than soccer glory. The Reggae Girlz delivered a resounding performance, destroying Dominica women's national football team 18-0 in their opening match of the 2025 to 2026 CONCACAF World Cup Qualifiers. November's cultural spotlight turned dramatic during the international spotlight of the Miss Universe 2025 pageant. On November 19th, during the evening gown round in Bangkok, Miss Jamaica 2025, Gabrielle Henry, suffered a frightening fall off the stage. The fall, captured on live video, shocked the pageant world. She was rushed to the hospital, and though she avoided life-threatening injuries, the incident triggered a wave of concern, sympathy, and reflection about pressure, safety, and national image. Organizers confirmed she was under observation but expected to recover. In a month already defined by upheaval, the fall became a metaphor for fragility, for resilience, for unexpected challenges, but it also invoked solidarity. Messages of support poured in across Jamaican social media, diaspora communities, and fans globally. November 2025 will be remembered as a test, but also a testament to Jamaican strength. Government leadership faced brutal demands but tried to steer recovery under extraordinary conditions. The economic and social costs are vast, yet the groundwork for rebuilding has begun. Public health, housing, and sanitation, crucial challenges ahead. And even in hardship, Jamaicans found reasons to celebrate in sport, solidarity, and shared purpose. As December approaches, two challenges shine brightest: ensuring that relief reaches the most vulnerable, fairly and transparently, and turning November's shock into December's recovery. Thanks for watching Island Pulse. If this month's briefing gave you insight, clarity, or renewed hope, please like, subscribe, and share. We're on this road together, tracking, reporting, and believing in Jamaica's resurgence. Until next month, walk good, Jamaica.